Hey guys, I hope you've had a wonderful 3-day weekend. It's Tuesday. I knew I wasn't going to film yesterday because of things we had planned. And so, yeah, I'm sitting here with you on a Tuesday afternoon. It's not technically morning chats anymore because I realize with our new routine here, yeah, it's more like afternoon chats. Because we've been going to the gym in the mornings and then we kind of just take our time having our protein shakes after we get back, and then, taking showers and making lunch and all of that. So it's about 1:30 right now. And today I wanted to actually talk to you guys about this whole working out thing. And the reason I want to talk about it is, first of all, I don't want to say I'm not an athlete now, because I feel like, if anything, I feel more like an athlete now than I ever have in my life. But I'm almost afraid to say that because, given my past history, I feel like I've never really stuck with working out long enough for me to feel like I'm an athlete or that I've shown real progress. Because, people ask me all the time, like whenever I go to a CrossFit gym, they ask how long I've been doing it. And, technically my first time is when I met Brandon. We were friends, so my first time CrossFitting was in 2012. But for me to say I've been CrossFitting for 6 years is a lie because I haven't done it consistently for the past 6 years. I've gone through my, heightened periods of going hard for like a month or 2 or 3 and then just not doing anything for 6 months. And so each time it just feels like I'm starting all over. And I think it's really important that I share that with you now because I don't know about you, but for me, it's like when I go to work out, especially, I guess, I'm just going to keep talking about CrossFit because I think that's the exercise program I've, done for the longest time. And I've done a little bit of yoga on the side. But I think the struggle that I always have is every time I go to the gym, I see these women that are just, it's insane. Like, I can't believe that these people can do what they can with their bodies. Whether it's like flying through sit-ups or doing pull-ups and then lifting a bunch of heavy weights, and just watching that, it's extremely intimidating, right? I always used to walk into CrossFit already feeling so defeated and scared. But I have to say this, I think it even started in Washington. That was last month, yeah. In April, when we were in Washington staying at my sister-in-law's, so Brandon's sister, that's when I started kind of getting my feet wet again with CrossFit. And we were with her for 2 weeks and we went almost every day, minus the weekends. And then what I learned was that, it doesn't have to be this really intimidating, scary thing. What I loved about going with Janice is she was really encouraging. And she never made me feel like I wasn't strong enough, fast enough, whatever. So even when she would partner up with me, like she would always tell me to go at my own pace, or it's okay if I can't do this. And I've always known this about, working out. And the beauty of CrossFit is that, you're all there to do the same workout, but you're all doing it based on your own abilities. So it can be the same exact workout, but you just scale it based on the weight or, a movement. So everything is very, very scalable. And even though I know that, it has been discouraging for me in the past, especially the way that I've looked at it myself. There were many times in Korea where the coach would have us partner up with other people in the gym. And a lot of times I would get partnered up with a woman that's significantly stronger than me. So as we're taking turns lifting weights, it's like my max weight would be their starting weight. I also feel like I wasn't mentally prepared going into it. And so I think if I changed my thoughts around it, I could have gone in and with the understanding that it doesn't matter where anyone else is. It's really about where I am, the fact that I went and showed up, and then just kind of taking baby steps from there. But I already went in feeling like a loser. And so that kind of set the tone for my, experience there. And what I'm learning now, it's been almost a month of us working out 4 to 5 times a week. And I really feel like a big part of why I'm here in Hawaii is to see what I'm made of. And I know this might not be very obvious, especially if you're like me and you don't, you know, you don't have a background of playing organized sports or, you know, classifying yourself as an athlete growing up. But for me, I'm learning so much that it's really so much more about your mental strength versus your physical strength. I really stress the part about me not having an athletic background, because when I go into the gym and I see people doing things where I feel like that seems like an impossible reach for me, whether that's doing a muscle up, a pull up, or just lifting, just back squatting like 200 pounds or whatever it is. A lot of the women that I do see, it turns out that when I do end up having a conversation with them, many of them have played organized sports, or, you know, they played sports growing up in college. And so for them, it's like they have the muscle memory that I don't have. And I guess for a long time, I kind of like victimized myself about it. Like, I'm already at such a disadvantage and I'll never get there. But one of the biggest things that I've really been practicing, and I think this is one of the most sustainable ways for me to keep approaching fitness, is I really, really have to, like, every morning before I walk out the door, before I step into the gym, it's like I can't compare myself to anyone else except what I'm able to do. And so when I'm in the gym and I see people completing workouts faster than me, I really have to bring myself back to know, like, hey, like, I'm not here to impress anyone. I'm here to really see what I can do and really challenge myself. So some of you may or may not remember, but in August 2015, Brandon and we did like this 30-day fitness challenge thing. And one of the things in the program was if we wanted to earn a cheat meal, we had to complete 500 burpees. And we had the whole day to complete it. So you can break it up whichever way you want. I think Gail and Chad, like, they did the 500 straight through. This is like the puddle of sweat from doing 500 burpees at home. And then there's Chad on the floor. Where's Gail? Brandon and I did not do that. I think we did like 200 in the morning, and then we went to watch a movie, and then we finished the rest in the evening. And I just remember leading up to that day thinking, like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to do like 500 proper burpees. But I think a big part of the motivation for me to complete it was because I knew that at the end of it, I was going to be able to enjoy a cheat meal with my friends and my husband. And so I pushed through it, and I did it. I did the 500, and I actually did it faster than I thought I would. That was probably the last time I did something where I blew my own mind. Because, you know, recently, before I left Korea, I did like 30 days of yoga. Like, every day I did yoga, and even with that, I was like impressed that I did that. But the 500 burpees thing, it has forever, for 3 years, not forever, that's been I call it my magic marker. That's been my magic marker for me. So anytime I have to do anything hard, I think back and think, okay, I can take care of whatever needs to be taken care of right now, because I know I can do hard things. I've done 500 burpees. So I've used this 500 burpees thing for the last 3 years to remind myself what I'm capable of. But, and you know, thankfully I have like video documentation of it, because I have it in a vlog. But, you know, I'm not necessarily going to watch that every time I need a reminder. But even, you know, packing up to move here, or dealing with my own, you know, negative self-talk, like, that was always such a good reminder for myself, for me to tell myself, like, hey, you can do 500 burpees. You've done 500 burpees. You can handle this. That was 2015. And I need a new marker. Sorry, my camera just cut out. Yeah, so I've been in search of my new like magic marker for a while. And I knew it had to be something big. It had to be something bigger than 500 burpees, because I have to constantly know that I can do hard things, especially as we're getting ready to, you know, launch our own business, which seems like such a scary venture for me even still. I have to keep encouraging myself to see what I'm capable of. So this CrossFit gym that we go to on Maui, we were introduced to it through Marie, and it has been like, of all the years and all the different CrossFit gyms that I've been a part of, there's something very special about this one. And not just because it's in Maui, but our coach, he is like the coach I have always wanted. I'm talking like he's really just creates like the most safe space. He's really encouraging, but at the same time, I think he knows when to push you and when to just let you do your thing. And maybe it's like the culture that I was used to before, but I felt like in Korea, a lot of my experience in gyms was like very shame based. I remember going to a gym and one of the trainers telling me that, if I just lost some weight, I would be able to do a pull-up, and it's because it's my own body weight that's keeping me down. Like shit like that, right? I could never imagine something like that coming out of my coach's mouth now. But yeah, he's really great. When you walk into the gym, like you really feel like he cares that you're there. From the very first workout we had with him, he's our coach and also the owner of the box. Like Brandon and I like signed up immediately for 6 months. So for the past few weeks, maybe even longer, the warm-ups and the workouts have been training to do this one really big workout, which took place yesterday on Memorial Day. And if you guys are familiar with CrossFit, there's a workout, it's a hero workout, a hero WOD, called Murph.
Hey everybody, I'm John Krasinski. I'm Chris Pratt. And today is Memorial Day. In order to commemorate, we just did the Murph Challenge. That's right. The Murph Challenge is a physical fitness challenge that you can do. It's a 1 mile run. It is 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and then another mile run. You can go to forge.com. That's right. They've got some shirts still available. Pick up a shirt and learn about Mike Murphy. He's just one of the many brave men and women who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country that we think about and honor today, Memorial Day. So today, whether you do a Murph challenge or just take some time to say thank you and remember that's what today's all about. So thank you. Thank you.
We're doing this in memory of Michael Murphy, the soldier that sacrificed his life for us. And so each movement should be kind of painful, right? Like the good kind of pain. So normally you're supposed to do this workout straight through. I am not there yet, so I did the option of scaling it. And so instead of doing the 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, and 300 squats, I broke it up into 33 rounds of, so I did 3 pull-ups, 6 push-ups, 9 squats, and I did that for 33 rounds. And I started with the 1 mile run and ended with the 1 mile run. That was one of the hardest workouts I've ever done. And it's so insane because, first of all, like there were so many people at the gym and you just see everyone cheering for each other and just really pushing. Like you can just tell that, most people, they look like they want to cry. And there's something about that shared suffering that's so beautiful because you're not there to be better than anyone else next to you, but you know that everyone is going through their own inner conflict to push themselves through something so tough, and also doing it for a greater cause. It was so incredible. Like it took me over an hour to finish the workout, and for the last mile run, I couldn't even run the whole thing. I had to switch off between running and walking. But the reason I tell you all this is definitely not to brag about myself, but it really helped me tune in with, like, why do I work out? It's not because I want to be skinny or I want to just look a certain way or of course those are all nice added bonuses, but I'm learning that there's so much more to doing something so hard, something so both mentally and physically challenging. One of the things that I've learned since I started working out recently is, every time I'm doing something hard, whether it's pushing myself through rowing or running or, lifting something that I didn't think I could lift, I always tell myself, like, this is easy. This is easy compared to starting your own business. And in the moment, it feels so hard. But when I think of something that I think in my mind is going to be harder, it kind of puts what I'm currently doing into perspective. I hope that makes sense, but I notice that this is a conversation I have with myself a lot while I'm working out. My hope is that when I have to overcome something harder in the future, then I can use my past experience, all the training that I've done, to tell myself, I can do this. This is easy because I do CrossFit now, or, I've done 500 burpees, or I've completed my first Murph workout. And so you just kind of almost play like this game of Tetris with yourself, where you put things into place and you put things into perspective. And you really prove to yourself and no one else like what you're capable of. One of the things that I hate most is running. When people say that they get like a runner's high or whatever, I'm not there yet. And for a long time I thought, man, that is such BS. Something that works for me, especially when I'm doing something like running, is while I'm running and I see, the finish line, I have to keep telling myself like, no one else can do this run for me. I can sit back and watch someone else do it for as long as I want, but the only way that I can get to the finish line is for me to push myself through it. And I know it kind of sounds so obvious, but like in the moment when everything, it just feels sore and you're tired and it's hot and you're pushing and you're constantly fighting with yourself, the only thing that's worked for me is to really remind myself that only I can do this for me. The reason I wanted to share all this is because I don't want to just be a success story after working out consistently, but really I wanted to share where I am right now, in the trenches of it all. I learned that I work out because I want to be someone that honors my own commitments. I want to build integrity with myself. I want to know that I can rely on myself to do something when I say I will. Just like I wouldn't, blow off a friend if I made plans with her. I want to show up for myself even more so. The way that I've been doing that in a measurable way has been waking up every morning and starting my day off with a workout. One thing that really helped me as well is before bed, I lay out all my workout clothes on top of my dresser. So it's like one less obstacle to deal with in the morning. So as soon as I wake up, I know exactly what I'm wearing. I don't have to, dig through my drawer trying to put my workout outfit together. And during that time, I'm thinking of all these different excuses why I don't want to go to the gym or why I should stay home. So I kind of try to make it even like a tiny bit easier for myself. That has been extremely helpful. Okay, why else do I work out? I think when I work out, it's been such a real exercise of not comparing myself to anyone else. And I know I've said this earlier in the video, but it's like an actual practice, like every single day. I mean, it's one thing to, be on your phone and look through Instagram. And I know everyone feels this. It's like when you see someone that has what looks like a dream life or your dream body or a dream relationship, like you can't help but to feel less than sometimes, right? And that's the whole thing with social media and highlight reels on Facebook and why it's such a huge cause for depression and stuff in people. And yeah, like you can be looking at that and then trying not to compare yourself, but it's totally different to be in an environment like CrossFit or whatever group workout of your preference, and just knowing that you're there and you're pushing yourself, and you're not comparing yourself to anyone around you. In fact, I've been so inspired by these women that I see working out around me. Like my perspective has changed entirely. Before I used to feel like shit about myself, but now like I see these mothers, like mothers of teenagers, and they are in their 40s, maybe 50s. They're ripped. They're ripped, and I see them just like blowing through workouts. And then when I'm still, still like pushing myself through mine and I'm really struggling and they're done, like they'll come over and encourage me and just cheer me on and tell me how proud they are of me. And it's this crazy atmosphere. And at that point, I feel really blessed to be able to work out alongside people like this and not feel so small. Yeah, that was a lot of like mental work on my part because I was not this way a few years ago. It's a daily exercise of learning, training myself not to compare compare me to anyone else. Why else do I work out? It's to prove that I've got my own back, you know? Like I mentioned earlier as well, it's no one else can do this for me. Just like no one else can launch my business for me, no one else can coach for me, and no one else can film these morning chats for me. Like I have to show up and I have to do the work. And I know that as I do that, and the more consistent I am with that, like I build trust and self-confidence. At the end of it, I really improve the relationship that I have with myself, right? I'm sure all these points have been, you know, shared somewhere on the internet. It's not like I'm bringing like a brand new perspective to it in any way, but as I've been going to the gym consistently for the last month or so, like almost every session, at some point in the workout, I always try to think about like what are some of my takeaways that I can share with you guys. And those 3 things that I just spoke about have been just on repeat. And so I know this kind of was all over the place, but I hope it makes sense. I didn't want this video to be too scripted either. I just kind of wanted to share with you the way that I would if I was talking to my sister. Sometimes I do wish that this was more like a back and forth conversation instead of me just talking about everything that's in my head and then reading your guys' comments later. I forgot to mention that I also completed that crazy ass workout yesterday on my period. Yep, I did it was day 3, so it wasn't like my heaviest day, but it was definitely not the tail end of my period. And I was wearing my Thinx underwear. Those are some period panties. Like they really worked. I had 0 leaking issues and it had me completely covered. It was so comfortable. I have the organic cotton briefs. That's the one for the heaviest flow. It's the one I talked about in the morning chat that I filmed when I was in Vietnam, where I was recommending them to you. Oh my gosh, I did Murph in my Thinx underwear. It's like double seal of approval. Yeah, can you guys believe I did a workout like that, like on my period? If I had any excuse to bail out on yesterday, it would have been that, because I'm bleeding. Yeah, and I wanted to prove to myself like, hey, I'm gonna do Murph and I'm gonna do it on my period, no excuses. That hour alone that I got yesterday from doing this, I feel like such a badass. Like I feel like my self-confidence alone from that has just skyrocketed. And it's not because I did the workout perfectly or anything like that. I still can't do a proper push-up. Like I have to do it on my knees. And after, I don't know, like 20, I end up like warming up. So I can't even like keep myself straight right now. So my core strength, upper body strength is still developing. I can't do a proper pull-up yet. So what my coach has me do is he puts a band, a resistance band on the, I forget what they're called, but yeah, under the pull-up bars, there's like a resistance band, so I can use it to kind of spring up back and forth. But obviously as I'm doing that, I'm, controlling my movement up and down, so I'm not just like making it like easy and not a workout. I guess that's it. Oh, I know what else. I wanted to put this multi-stick on my lids too. There's a product that I'm dying to try right now, but I promised myself that I would wait until this is either done or it hits its expiration before I buy it. It's one of the Oleo y Oso balms. It looks like a little mini deodorant, but they're like tinted balms, and you can use them on your cheeks as a blush or on your lips as a balm. And they just look, I've played around with a few in stores at Credo Beauty. They're so pretty, and it just keeps popping up on Instagram. I do this thing where every time I want something and I already have a product similar to it in my collection, I have a wish list on my phone, and on the wish list it says like wish list 30 days. Basically what I do is I just write whatever it is that I want, and then I'll put a calendar reminder for it in 30 days. And at that point I can revisit the idea of should I buy it or should I wait. But in this example for this one, this expires, this November. I've had this for 2 years, and that's the end of its life. So either I finish this by November and I try the new product, or I have to throw this out because I don't like to use products past its expiration date, especially like natural ones. And yeah, I can replace it with that. I'll be good for it. And I'm telling you this now to be accountable, because otherwise, like, I would just order it online. There's a shampoo I want to try. It's $45. And that's on my wish list right now because, you know, it's something I could revisit in 30 days after my current shampoo runs out, sort of thing. So yeah, anyway, I just want to let you know about that. Okay, I think I'm done. I'm gonna go edit this video. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great week. Bye.